Hello everyone, welcome to Rika's podcast. 皆様、今日は Rika's podcast へお越しいただきありがとうございます。実は今日は特別編ということで、ゲストとネイティブの友達のゲストといろいろなことについて雑談しております。So on this episode, I talk with a friend of mine from the States. His name is Evan. He's been on the show before. 前もこちらのポッドキャストに参加いただいた方なんですけれども、対談を mostly in English でしておりますので、楽しんでいただければ幸いです。I hope you enjoy the show. Alright then, let's dive in. Hi everyone, we have a special guest today.
Hello, I'm special.
Yeah, Evan's here to talk to me on this podcast. It's been a while.Since you were on the show?
Yes.
ちょっと久しぶり。いつだったかな
覚えてない。
覚えてないぐらい昔だよね。
やっぱり台風の時から多分1回ぐらいしたんだね。
したっけ I don't even know. And I don't even remember what I talked about. But I know that some listeners enjoy.Having you here on the show.
Well,
they said
it's very kind of you.
They said they really like it when you come on the show, so that's good. So today is the last day of November.
Yes.
Is it? Yes. We have only 1 month left for this year.
Yeah.
So looking back, because we haven't talked for a while, so how's your year been? 今年はどんな感じでした？まだあと1ヶ月あるけど。
It's been pretty good. Actually, there were a lot of changes this year. For example, because at the beginning of the year, it was still the last school year. So, I changed from, I worked in junior high school and elementary school. Now I'm back to just elementary.
Okay.
One of my good friends that lives in Hyuga moved to Kansai because his contract finished. But he got a new, very exciting job in Kyoto.
Teaching English or different thing?
Actually, he works kind of in a international relations kind of capacity with Ikenobo, the Ikebana school. So he got a job with them.
That's interesting.
Pretty cool.
Wow.So the students are kids or grown-ups?
Oh, I don't know if there's even students per se. Like I think they are an Ikebana school, but I think it's more of like the discipline of Ikebana that they focus on. So I don't know if it's a regular school per se, because I know they have many events where they present their works from, I guess, various members. I'm guessing it's probably mostly adults.But I don't know for sure. I don't know too many details.
That's kind of interesting as part of the traditional Japanese art that they're presenting, I think. And I just talked with my students the other day about whether or not it is important to treasure these kind of cultural things, like traditional arts like Ikebana for one, and then Japanese tea. What else?Calligraphy. You do calligraphy as well,
I do,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so those kind of things. Do you think it is important in this modern life still?
Absolutely. I think especially nowadays, in the current generation, people's attention span and concept of time is just shorter and shorter and faster. So I think it's becoming even easier to forget things of the past or just move on. And so...I think it's very important to treasure and keep these traditional things alive.
Yeah, that is so true about the attention span. That's another thing I talked with my students last night about how people like to abbreviate everything and anything just because maybe they're tired of texting everything, right?
Right.
Yeah, spelling it all out and...Some can be pretty creative, so I kind of enjoy this kind of like new words coming out. But at the same time, I feel that people are just getting lazier and lazier.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a large influence from the internet because things like on Instagram they have the reels, which are short videos. Facebook has short videos.
They have shortened it so much.
And like TikTok and things like that. So I think if you watched a video that's longer than a minute, oh my goodness.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
I know. But
people can't focus.
I know. So that's like when it comes to this kind of a traditional art, like calligraphy, tea ceremony, you really have to devote your time and energy for that moment you're doing this, right?
110%.
110%.
Yeah, I mean, even because I do calligraphy once a week, and it is, there's a lot of sitting and concentration and silence and
preparation.
And you want to just write it and be done and have it be beautiful, and the teacher says, "Oh, so good," and then you're like, "Oh, no. But in reality, if you don't take your time, if you don't concentrate properly, and it's not going to go well. And
you actually enjoy that?
I do.
Doing this kind of like a slow process of Zen or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I think I need that a little bit in my life, because I've realized that I think I'm slowly becoming a product of the world around us, and maybe my attention span is getting shorter. So having something like this helps me try to kind of balance that out, especially because I pay to go there, so if I don't go,
you don't want to waste your money and time.
Like for your own hobbies, as horrible as it is to say, it's sometimes hard to even do your own hobbies because I could do something else that's quick and easy and fun.
That's very true, very true. If it's kind of like for free, you don't really care.
You don't value it as much.
So it's important to actually invest in yourself and then just become a better version of yourself っていうか。そうよ。Everything is shortened and fast forward, and I do not have the very good attention span anymore.
Just how things are changing.
I get really irritated when my smartphone doesn't go smoothly. It's just a little delay, but I'm just like so frustrated and just like feel like I'm wasting time, which is really bad, I think. So this kind of traditional arts will help you kind of like slow down and then reflect on your thoughts and things. そうなんだ。So you did calligraphy. Anything else do you practice or?
As far as traditional activities, calligraphy is the one that I currently do. Actually, I think last week I did go to a culture event, I guess, where they had tea ceremony, they had ikebana, they also had koto playing, and just all of those things are they're a breeze, not a typhoon force wind, if you will. So they kind of they go through, they glide in the air, and you kind of have to just ride that little wave, because it's you sit there and you listen and you enjoy it and you bask in it.
Right.
And it's not quick. It's tranquil and
it's a whole new world to me. But Japanese traditional arts are just like that. We really need to be prepared and then think about the other person and then just get ready and take your time. But how about do you have any traditional arts like that in the States, or can you think of anything that kind of have the similar kind of?
I'm sure if there are any Americans listening, they're probably screaming at their phone right now. I mean, like, you didn't think of this thing! But I'm trying to think, because America is such a young country, so
yes, it is.
Traditional is a very relative term.
確かにね。
But, I mean, maybe things as simple as, baking.
Baking,
or cooking certain foods.
That's true. Cooking.
Like making a good American apple pie.
It takes time and effort.
It takes time and effort, especially if you do it by hand. The top crust is kind of a basket weave, and you really have to do that carefully by hand.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And it's so easy to just buy a pre-made crust or something.
Of course. Cooking, I think, is very soothing. When you really put your mind to it, and I do as well sometimes, not every day. I couldn't do it every day, but yes. it just is nice. And I try not to have any other things going on while I'm cooking. Like I'm not watching any videos or listening to anything. No music. I just like to be silent when I cook for some reason. So I can focus more and just not get disturbed.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say something about that, like doing laundry. They said like folding their clothes. Like, I don't like to have music on. I just want to focus on the quiet kind of solitude and tranquility of the moment. And that's a very interesting.
It could be therapeutic in a way, I guess, for some people.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, all the time I do multitasking. So cooking is something that I do it. Just focus on cooking itself. I do not try to do everything at once. For some reason, I don't know why, but it works for me.
Right. Yeah, you're not cooking and then, frying pan in one hand, vacuum in the other hand.
No. That would be very difficult. Yes. Yeah, but yes, attention span or concentration, I do feel that all the time. I just cannot concentrate on one movie lately.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot really sit through. I just get bored and then just pause. And then I give up watching it, the whole thing. But you could do it.
I think movies are usually okay, but I think for TV shows and things like that, if there's maybe 12 episodes and, let's watch episode 3. But it's 25 minutes. That's kind of long. What can I do for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And I think I need to stop thinking that way.
Yeah, when we go back to the topic of abbreviating everything, that's what I was doing in class the other day. So they said that with text messages or email, they use so many abbreviations form. Like, for example, talk to you later for TTYL. Was it?
Yeah.
Or are there any new ones that you noticed lately? Or maybe you don't really text in English much?
I do, but as far as new abbreviations, I think...
I found OOO.
OOO.
Out of the office.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that one. Interesting.
Yeah. Or work from home for WFH or something like that. That's something I knew that I found.
Interesting. I think I learned a couple new ones. I know like TIL. Some people write like today I learned.
Oh.
When I guess they explain something new that they learned about. Or what is it? IYKYK.
Which is?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
It's sometimes people just write that.
Okay.
IYKYK. If you know, you know. Kind of.
It's too much. I would never guess what it means.
Because sometimes I'll see it randomly, and then I have to start doing, algebra in my head.
Yeah,
going, okay,
algebra. It's like solving a puzzle.
Mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that same thing is happening in Japanese as well. I'm sure you know some as well, right?
I do, yeah. And I think especially just with emojis, that's becoming an abbreviation for sentences even. Just emoji.
Yeah.
There's your sentence.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. It is very convenient, and then maybe they're worried about typing it all out because the recipient doesn't want to read everything.
Oh, sure. Maybe.
But not for formal letters or text messages. I think it's for casual things, but I don't know.
Which I think even with that, if you need to write something, maybe like a formal correspondence or something, even adults nowadays, they don't know how to do it or they're unsure about it.
Yeah, it's just happening with me right now is kanji. I can read fine, but when it comes to writing it out, it's like I often find myself going to my smartphone to check because like I'm going to publish a book pretty soon. Yay.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, but I've been, as everybody knows, like I've been drawing pictures. And with that, I have to write some Japanese words as a sentence and also in English translations. But many kanji mistakes that I made. Which I believe this kanji was this one. And then I had no idea it was actually the other way around.
Right.
So I have to rewrite everything that I made a mistake for. すごい大変. The kanji, does it happen with you? I mean, like when it comes to spelling?
Sometimes.
Really?
Even just the other day, I was second guessing myself. Like, does this have 2 R's or 1?
So,
I think maybe autocomplete on phones is almost
So.
too convenient,
So.
too easy, that you kind of turn off your brain.
Yeah, it
and
does.
then you slowly forget the simple things you already knew.
そうなんだ. So autocorrection is good, but yeah, it's just making my brain go even more stupid.
Yeah. It's turning into mush.
Turning into mush. Okay. Mush like banana.
Yeah. Just,
ぐちゃぐちゃになってくるってことね. Turning into mush.
just
Yeah.
a big slop inside your head.
What's it gonna be like? In like, I don't know, the drastic change has happened over, I don't know, 10 years, 5 years even? I think it's changing all the time.
It feels exponential. Just increasingly changing faster and faster.
And then so, I don't even know what happens in a couple of years from now.
Who knows what communication will even be at that point?
And
Will we speak?
Yeah, I think we can just read our minds.
Or just short sounds. Like, oh, me too. Yeah. Like, what?
But it does sound like it's gonna go that way because of all the ChatGPT, AI, and all kinds of crazy stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's helpful, but
Sure.
is it really helpful for us, our brain?
Yeah. But, kind of on the flip side of that is when you do something, maybe in the way that you used to do it 5, 10, 20 years ago, I feel like there's a sense of satisfaction. Even just writing a letter and sending it to someone in the mail.
Such a satisfaction.
Or especially if I get one.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, this feels so nice, so much better than an email or a text.
Yes.
Like, oh, this
So
is great.
true,
I feel they actually took the time to think about me, write it, buy a stamp, and go to the wherever their nearest mailbox is.
Yeah.
And
This takes time. And you really have to do it with your heart. So yeah, I tweeted, was it yesterday, about my student, and she is maybe maybe late in her 70s or early 80s.
Wow.
Even. But yeah, so she's my face-to-face lesson student, and then she sends me a postcard.
oh, wonderful.
Because she does not use smartphone, just to let me know that she will be absent next week. Yeah, but that was so sweet, right?
Well,
Yes, I was like, oh, I forgot. I could actually write a letter or a postcard and it will get you. But it will not get you on the same day, of course. It will come here.
Right.
Maybe a day later. But it was really nice to see her handwriting, saying that she really enjoys my lesson and she will be absent from class because she's going out of town. That's it, But it was so nice. And I was really happy to see that in my mailbox. So just thinking that she took the extra time to write to me, that little message. She could have called me, of course, on the phone, but she's the kind of person that doesn't want to bother me.
Sure.
だから、yeah, very, very heartfelt message.
Yeah, I mean, I even, not too long ago, a friend of mine, I think she did me a favor, and instead of writing me a message online or something saying, I did this, enjoy, she wrote a physical note and put it in a little envelope and then put it in my mail slot in my door. And then I opened it, she did the thing, thank you. And it just felt very nice, It's just I don't know, it kind of reminds you that people are human.
People are human.
That, there is some humanity left.
So
maybe.
Yeah. The little thing like that is really important to feel, I think, yeah. So, いろいろあるけどね. I'm sure that I have other things that happened to me that I felt that way. I've been meaning to journal because I forget everything these days.
Yeah.
It's such a waste. So I'm gonna have to do some journaling. Do you?
I don't. There was on and off, I had done it in the past for very short periods of time, but I was never consistent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's probably a good idea if I were to do it.
Right. Journaling itself, I think, is pretty popular now.
I guess
yeah. People do that to kind of reflect on the day and try to do better the next day, or kind of like organize your thoughts when you're just so busy, and then ちょっとサイレンがうるさいですけどsomewhere near. What happened? I wonder. Anyway, yes, journaling. Yes. Are you interested in starting that, or?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Even if it's just very short. I guess brain biscuits.
Brain biscuits? What's that?
I just made it up. But just a little biscuit-sized piece of your thoughts. As it came from your brain. Listen.
Just, that kind of thing, I guess. Like, things happen every day, and I do have many students, and they tell me really interesting stories all the time, but it just comes and goes, and then...
Right.
It doesn't stay that long, so unfortunately. If I do journaling, maybe I could make a mental note, and write it down somehow, so I can go look back on the same thing, and then enjoy reading that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's something as simple as somebody told you something very funny, and I can't wait to tell that to someone else.
I know.
And you see them 20 minutes later, you see someone, Dare just told me, hold on, give me a second.
I know. That's something I really need to get started on. I mean, like, I could take notes on my phone, but it's not the same. I don't know why, but...
I agree.
I do take notes sometimes on my phone, but not the same.
Yeah.
So I really need to get, like, a really nice organizer and start doing it. Not today, but starting January 1st.
Right. Your New Year's resolution, huh?
So, wow, I'm proud of myself making New Year's resolution now.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a good topic to talk about. I mean, focusing and yes. And then you say that you will be having your mom again to Japan.
Yeah, she will. She will come to visit. We will go meet on Christmas Eve, actually.
Yeah.
Because that's my last day of work for the year.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is crazy to my mother. She heard
Because it's
Christmas Eve. What? That's so late. Christmas Eve. I said, well, I mean, this is Japan.
That's the last day of work this year.
My last day of work before the winter vacation.
And then you're gonna go meet her in Osaka だったっけ?
Yeah, we will meet in
Itami.
Osaka and then stay in Kyoto for a few days. Then go to Hiroshima for a few days. And then come back to Hyuga.
Okay. So she's gonna be here for a couple of days, or
She'll be here for about 2 weeks.
Oh.
Basically, the entire winter vacation that I have, she will be here.
Okay, that's
because
very nice.
I think anything less than 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think she feels like it's not worth it to
Wow,
come.
that's true.
All
It's
the
a
way.
long way. A long
So,
way. But she came here last summer.
Right. Yeah. Last year summer. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a winter time for her.
It will be.
Will be better, I think.
Probably.
Summer was
At
pretty
least-
brutal
Yeah,
last year.
I think it's
だったかな。
easier to bear with the cold than the heat in the summer. So and I told her, I said, it's gonna be pretty cold, probably colder than back home. But she said, it's fine, I grew up in New York. I lived in the countryside of New Jersey for a long time. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you say that now, but
そうね、京都 it could snow sometime, I guess, like depending
nice.
on yes. So I hope it doesn't get too cold.
sure.
で、広島 and then back to Miyazaki.
Yeah.
京都、広島、宮崎。Okay, so you have everything ready. I mean, like accommodation is set up, but you don't really know what you're gonna do.
Pretty much, yeah. We have accommodations picked out, but for each day, not entirely sure. I have a few ideas, but we might loosely play it by ear.
Yeah, play it by
Maybe just
ear.
a general plan.
Yeah, if you have your place to stay, and I think that's good enough. I mean, like you can just
Yeah.
go with the flow and then enjoy
For sure, yeah.
stuff along the way. Well, any of the listeners who are listening to this podcast right now have any suggestions on what to do, where to go in Hiroshima or Kyoto, then please let us know.
Yeah, don't be shy. Feel free to just say anything you want.
But not really touristy stuff. You've been there, right?
I've been to Kyoto before, but never been to Hiroshima.
そっかそっか。
I mean, I do plan to go to the Genbaku Dome.
Of course.
And maybe if I can, go to Tsukushima?
厳島神社。
in Hiroshima.
Very scenic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can. But any recommendations would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, ね、なんかローカルな人たちもしかしたら京都にいらっしゃる方とか広島にいらっしゃる方いたらちょっと面白いネタっていうかね、ここ行ったらいいよっていうのあったらよろしくお願いします。
Yeah. But I mean, if you say, でもこのスポットはね、友達となんか元彼はちょっとここで分けちゃったね。ここいい観光スポットだよ。違う。
それちょっと違うかもしれないね。
面白いけど。
まあエヴァンとお母様が楽しめるようなちょっと粋なスポットとかちょっとユニークな場所とかあったら知りたいよね。
Yeah.
Like those places not on the guidebook, but
Right, exactly.
hidden gem.
Yeah, absolutely.
そうなんだ。So, where will you be on the New Year's Eve?
I will be back in Miyazaki.
Back in Miyazaki. Okay.
At least that's the plan.
So you will be experiencing the New Year's. You have experienced it before, but
Yeah.
this is your how many year now? Like
It's my 5th year.
50 year.
Doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. Yes.
Kind of, yeah. It shocks me when I think about how much time has passed.
Yeah, but it's kind of easy to remember because you just came in right before the pandemic.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
だったよね。
And I think, and especially because of the pandemic, time doesn't seem real. Like for those two and a half years.
Yeah. I think that's for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of vague.
It's just a
nothing
blur.
really blur. Yeah, period of time. But it's been 5 years ago.
Crazy.
I know. Yes. Well, really hope that you and your mom have a very good time
Thank you.
around Christmas. Good. Okay. Anything else? You've been talking for about 28, 26 minutes.
Oh wow.
何かないですか?
Well, I do have a friend who's sitting about 1 foot away from me with a new book coming out. I don't know if you guys know her. Her name, it rhymes with Pika.
Pika.
She has a new English book coming out.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I recommend any English learners or lovers of just cute illustrations. Please take a look at her new book.
ありがとうございます。素晴らしいコマーシャルありがとうございます。Yes, my book, as I always mention on my podcast, it's coming out and limited, like extra bonus on if you reserve it on Amazon, pre-order it, then you will get the calendar on your smartphone. Yes,
very
12
nice.
calendars. スマホカレンダーがついてくるのは12月19日までに Amazon で予約した方だけになるのでIf you want that, then please go over there and click and pre-order and that will make me very, very happy. Yes. ね。I still cannot believe that it's actually coming out, so どうなるかな?
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a great timing for Christmas, I guess. So
Sure.
for your Christmas presents or your families or friends, I think that's should be good. It's good for any level of students and even kids can maybe enjoy the illustration as well.
For sure. Or if you don't have anyone to buy it for, treat yourself.
Treat yourself, yeah. That would be very nice.
Give yourself a pat on the back, say, I deserve this,
Oh, yeah.
and then buy her book.
Yes, it's a good timing. Yes, I think. Okay, ありがとうございます。今日はコマーシャルマムで今からエヴァンとご飯を食べます。
はい、楽しみにしてます。
Okay, thank you very much, Evan. I will talk to you later, everyone. Bye.
Have a good night or day. I don't know what time it is.